evening and welcome back. It has been a month and 5 days since we last did anything. So restart your Steam. All right, we got a new experimental branch for everybody to play with. A lot of good, interesting things. So for those of you who may not know me, my name is Derek. I'm one of the dev team members for HumanitZ. So, get on over to Steam, go check it out. There's a free demo. Head on over to HumanitZgame.com. That's the official store. Join us over on the Discord. Make sure you guys are participating in Steam discussions while we go through the creation of this amazing game. So, but yeah, got a lot of good, interesting things going on. Uh-oh. Dubs, thank you for the 18 months. I might actually have my stuff fixed so that way it's not going to pop up while all this is going on. So, the picture does look a little bit elongated because I had to do some last-minute cropping. Not a big deal, all right? But, again, this is an experimental branch for the .916 update. The full update is not out yet, but you guys can access the experimental branch. You're going to right-click on HumanitZ. You're going to click on Properties. You're going to click on the betas, and then from betas, you can select experimental branch. Highly, highly encouraged. Please use a new save, all right? Don't use your old save and then play an experimental branch and then bounce back to the regular branch once you're done doing everything. It's going to corrupt your file, all right? So just we are not held liable for any problems with any of your saves that you use. Please start a new file. Just keep it on the side, but just put it over there. Put it on the shelf. But yeah, it's been a hot minute. We're going to go over this pretty down and dirty. I'm sure at some point, State of Survival Podcast will do a 5 to 6 minute video, so that way you guys don't have to listen to me for half an hour. But popping into this. Hey survivors, we have just launched our .916 experimental branch update in order to reap that amazing feedback on new controls and camera changes, as well as a few of the additions prior to fully implementing in a full patch, a full .916 push. There will be missing translations and some minor placeholder items as we work towards a fully stable 916 update. All right, localization again on the way to 1.0. There's going to be a lot of things that are not fully translated. We rely heavily on our community volunteers in order to get our localization up to snuff. So please bear with us. You will experience some English mixed in with your localization. Remember, this is only experimental branch. Full release for regular implementation will shortly follow. Okay? Can't give you a time frame on that. It might be a week. It might be 2 weeks. Who knows? But a lot of people have been providing solid feedback over the past year and a half that we've been around. So it's the faster we get some stuff, the faster we can be like, all right, cool, we've got enough. We're going to go ahead and push for live. So we look forward to your feedback on this experimental branch, and we thank you for your support. In order to participate in the .916 EB version, which I already covered, switch your branch over to the experimental branch via Steam. There is help in the HumanitZ Steam discussions guides and frequently asked questions section for instructions on how to do this. Okay, so either follow what I said or go over there if you need to read step by step. Server info. There will be two experimental servers live during the experimental phase. So right now we have the HumanitZ, or the official HumanitZ 916 experimental branch PvP and a PvE server. Okay, so get in there, play with it, and see how the performance is. Again, please begin a new save file when playing experimental. We are not responsible for old saves. All right. If you do run into bugs, please come on over. If you don't like using Discord, go ahead and throw it in the actually, I'll just show you right here. If you go to discussions, and then down here in events and announcements, right here, HumanitZ experimental 916 update, throw your bugs in there. Otherwise, come on over to the Discord and just log them through either the experimental 916 thread or through taking tickets. All right, either way, I'll see them, I'll consolidate them all, and we'll work on them. All right. So, new additions, what have we done? Brand new movement and camera system has been added called Fixed. This has been requested for the longest time to have a fixed camera behind the character, and we think we have finally achieved it. Internally, we recommend movement and fixed for best utilization. So you've got your movement, and then you've got your camera. Movement, we recommend movement. Camera, we recommend fixed. Okay? It kind of mimics a third-person perspective, but it's still isometric, so it's still at an angle, but it's, you know, no matter where you turn, your camera's always going to be locked behind your character. Yaz has been hard at work on new zombie animations, new zombie sound effects, new color options of backpacks. Thank you, Suze. It's fucking amazing. New gear slot for glasses. New wearable glasses. So you've got different types of glasses. You've got sunglasses. You've got... You guys get in there and you guys will find it. New deployable heater. It does require a generator. So now you have like a little portable heater that you can take with you, and is, you know, while you're out in the bush or whatever it is you're doing, you know, going back to your base, okay, you're cold, you don't have a you just set up this little handheld generator. A little bedside heater basically. New bullet casings, shells, drop sound effects added to guns. So it's very subtle in the background, but you can hear the shells and the bullet casings drop and tinking off the ground. New terrible pool cue weapon added. It's very, very bad. And before we get into it, no, you can't do a downwards animation with it because it uses the spear animation. Right? Spear pitchfork animation. But it's fun to use. New kitchen weapons added. A frying pan and a spoon. Okay? So you can use those for decorations, you can use them for as weapons. The frying pan sounds amazing. And it feels amazing. You can feel the weight behind it. Like a good cast iron skillet. New items added to the game for more looting realism, giving you that small dopamine rush while scavenging. Some items won't have much crafting use currently, but good for decoration or used with traders. More to follow, so pay attention to what you find. Okay? There's a lot of things that were added in that are precursors to things to come. Okay? New farm animal added. Pigs! Have fun finding them. New large town of Rossville to discover. So there is a brand new town that was added to the map, and it is quite different than a lot of the other towns in the game. So please, if you like the look of Rossville, let us know. Okay? Please give us feedback on that so that way we can improve the rest of the map to kind of be in the same similar fashion. Okay? New self-storage unit location added. New lootable storage boxes. Random categorized loot. What this means is you're going to find new different types of boxes. They all look the same, but they all have targeted loot. So if you find one that has like construction parts, or you have one that has vehicle parts, it's not like the giant particle board looking containers. They're actually just cardboard shipping boxes. So pay attention. New lootable police car variant, really cool. New first aid medicine cabinet added. It's a white medicine cabinet with an orange first aid symbol on it, so be on the lookout for those. New tooltip description added to settings menu. So, hey, what's up, SOS? Good morning. Make sure you guys head on over to State of Survival Podcast. Go check them out. They cover a lot of different survival games. HumanitZ is one of them. Please, please, please give them a shout over on YouTube. New tooltip description added to settings menu. Explaining movement and camera modes. So when you go into your settings, off to the right-hand side, you can look, and it will tell you what the different settings are. So that way it's not just like, well, what the hell is, you know, continuous and default, and like it will actually tell you now. You don't have to try it and then play with it and then try it and play with it. You can actually look to see what it is now. Where are we? New gun store building, new large warehouse building, new liquor store, new car dealership POI. So lots of new POIs that were added. Huge shout out to MK for a lot of the work that he has done. A huge shout out to Suze for all the work that she has done. Scroll down. Thank you. I forget that this is not the same as this because this is actually enlarged. It's engorged. Text is cut off since it was elongated. Yeah. We'll do this now. There we go. It's engorged. Quality of life changes. This is straight from you guys. All right, it's not just this whole quality of life changes section. This is all driven from you guys. Okay? Except for this part. Removed Christmas decor and items. Okay, so all the Christmas stuff. No. Improvements made to many in-game textures. Improved overall look of the game to look sharper and more defined. and improve the level of detail function on more assets for performance optimization. All right, so I want to talk about this huge chunk real quick. So there was some things that we found that were not, basically the boxes weren't checked. So we ended up checking those boxes and playing with them and tweaking with them, and now the game is a lot better graphically. A lot of people said that there was some blurry issues. There were some disparities between the demo and the real game, and yeah, 100% there were. Okay, so thank you so much for those of you in Steam discussions and on Discord for bringing that to our attention, so that way we can improve upon it. So otherwise, we wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have investigated. As far as the level of detail function on more assets for performance optimization, so basically we increase and decrease some distances on some things, so that way you don't get bottlenecked into a bunch of things loading at the same time. Now it like kind of progressively loads. So yeah, huge. That's kind of what took most of the weekend. This past week and the past weekend was that piece right there. Otherwise, this would have come out on Friday, but last minute things always come with their nice little hiccups. So we fixed that. Good to go. All weapons and attacks improved to be more responsive and consistent. One thing I'd like to mention about combat, okay? We don't deal in hitboxes, okay? It is a skeletal mesh. So when you have a weapon such as the golf club, the entire weapon is not the weapon. It's the head of the weapon, the actual driver part, the putter part, okay? When you hit the zombie, if you're over swinging, yes, you're gonna miss, okay? If you're not connecting with the skeletal mesh of the head, the arms, the shoulder, the torso, the legs, you're going to overswing or underswing, okay? So just going forward, I know some people have lodged a couple of complaints about it, but as far as the combat, we feel it's exactly where it needs to be. So I mean, if you guys want hitboxes to where, you know, you're swinging 6 feet in front of you and you're hitting something, that's kind of not what we're going with. Changed the crossbow reticle from dot to circle. That was requested within the past week or two, I think. As well as increase the range of crossbow when the red dot sight and the ACOG are attached. So that same bug that was reported, or same request, said that the ACOG and the red dot sight were not working on the or to add them to the crossbow. They were already in there. It just wasn't providing as much of a range. You can now throw empty glass jars. Improved throwing of rocks, grenades, Molotovs, glass jars, and nail bombs. These throwables can now be thrown through windows and smash the windows. I know, I've seen me kill Yaz with it. I actually don't think I killed him. I think I just damaged him. But yeah, it's awesome. Just being able to take a Molotov and just throw it in through a window. It's pretty legit. The mouse icon, hang on, I gotta make sure I'm scrolling up. Mouse icon now hides while the gamepad is in use. I'm still working on the gamepad stuff. Kai has been exceptionally patient with me in bringing your guys' requests and the things that I want tinkered with on the controller support. So thank you for providing that feedback, and please bear with us as we get the controller appropriate. Remember, this is a PC game for now, but we are ramping up for console release. One of those prerequisites are for Steam Deck and for the controller to work synonymously and properly. So we got to get it right. Added more interaction UI prompts. So as you walk up to things, you're going to see a lot more UI prompts popped up. I think you can turn them off with Hardcore HUD. I can't remember specifically. I didn't test too much with the Hardcore HUD. If you do find that all of a sudden your screen goes blank for some reason, such as like you don't see your vitals or your durability bars or anything, for some reason the game has automatically turned on Hardcore HUD. We've fixed that with this update, but if it does happen, please let us know during experimental branch. Overhauled interaction UI to display correct keybinds. So before, on the UI, whenever you would change your keybinds, it would still say whatever the default value was, and that was because that was embedded in the overall UI itself. Kai did an amazing job going in, fixing the UI, and making sure that as you change your keybinds, now it reflects appropriately, and that also reflects in the UI prompts, like when you walk up to a door or when you're getting ready to start your car, or unlock your car or anything like that. A small UI pop-up has been added to tell you that you have skill points to spend. A long time ago, back in October of 2023, my brother-in-law was playing this game, and he actually asked for this. So this has been a long time in the making. Now it's here. Updated main menu art. Small booking room and reception added to the motel for realism. Added additional item spawners to certain locations and houses, so keep your eyes peeled. So we're always increasing more loot. The more crap that you guys can find for all you loot goblins out there, the better. However, you don't have to pick everything up. Come back for it, all right? You don't need 800 slot backpacks. Improved harvestable vehicles collision for vaulting and jumping. What this means is there were some issues where, and we've seen it on a lot of streams, where like somebody would vault up onto a car, or they wouldn't be able to, and you wouldn't be able to go up the front or the back end. And there was just like a little bit too much of a blocking mechanism, so that's been fixed. Sledgehammer can stagger all zombies reliably. We are working on more weapons functions and hit mechanics and reactions, and you guys will see it all in the experimental branch, so please let us know what you like. AI warning aggro to minimize damaging friendly AI by accident. So what this means is you might accidentally hit them once, and they'd be like, okay, you know, you grazed me, it's not a big deal. But then if you full on go out and start hitting them, yeah, they're going to react to you and they're going to hit you. This was largely propagated by when you would go to a survivor encampment, and you would be out there messing with the zombies, and then the survivors would come out there and help, but you wouldn't even like attack them, and then they'd aggro to you for whatever reason. So that's been fixed and taken care of. Increased blood projection when hitting zombie Zeeks, depending on the weapon type. So obviously, if you have a small bladed weapon, it's not going to provide as much of a blood splatter as you would see with either the sledgehammer or the katana, or you know. So the blood effect, visual effects duration has been increased, so the blood will remain on the ground and on walls and on doors and on each other and on yourself longer. More improvements and changes to the map. We'll talk about those here in a little bit. Actually, we already talked about them right up here with new large town Rossville to discover, so go check that out. More improvements and changes to the map. This is one of the large reasons why whenever somebody asks if there's going to be a wipe, there's like 3 different things that affect, hey, we need to have a wipe. One is definitely map changes. For single player files, stopped duplication about harvest car collision, I fixed, and stopped duplication about harvest car collision. Fixed, pushed, protect. Spotted duplication about harvest car collision, fixed and maybe I'm not reading it right. Hang on. Spotted duplication about harvest car collision. I fixed and pushed the. Okay, now I understand. I had to read it in English. I'm just busting your balls, guys. Where was I? More improvements and changes to the map. 3 things. That's right, 3 things. Map changes. For single player files, we encourage whenever we do an update, go in, see if it messed with where you live. If it didn't, you don't need a new file. All right. Also, there will be small but noticeable tweaking the vehicle handling. Yes, vehicle handling has been changed. So Dubs has been hard at work on improving the vehicles are fucking amazing. And Kai. Both of them together, fucking amazing team. The vehicles feel a lot better now, especially server side. It feels just smoother. It feels a lot smoother. It's not as chunky. 3 things: the maps, single player. Check to see if it messes with your base. Second thing, system or coding. If there's drastic coding changes, then it's gonna require a full-on like new file. Otherwise, it's gonna mess with your files. And the third thing is I don't remember. 2 things. There's 2 things. There's 2 things whenever we do a wipe. When picking up an item that does not fit in your pockets, it will now say need backpack instead of inventory full. I fielded a lot of inquiries about this, and there's been a lot of bug reports and actually negative reviews because people said, I can't pick this up. It says my inventory is full, but I have empty pockets. It's like, so now it's going to reflect appropriately and say, hey, you need a backpack. Certain things won't go in your pockets, like gas masks, fuel cans, sheet metal, you know, things like that. Things that you obviously wouldn't be able to stick in your pockets. Added trade function to all friendly human AI. Still only a chance to trade. Okay, so all human NPCs have the ability to trade. It's just randomized on whether or not that trade window will populate for you. Again, everything's RNG. With that being said, you can't trade all items. NPCs have varying loot that they're looking for, and if you had those, you can trade that to them for items that they have in their inventory. Yes, a full-on barter trader is coming. Roman is going to have a lot of stuff in the future. There's going to be some other quest NPCs that turn into traders that you can trade things for. So help you with that better targeted loot. Zeeks and NPCs can now drop backpacks. This does not include AI bandits. Everybody's been waiting for this one. It took us a while, but we're getting to it, okay? Tweaked handling on a number of vehicles. Talked about that already. Gotta scroll down. Crossbow changes. Crosshair updated and zoom distance slightly increased. I already added that. Right there. I already added that. Fixed collision on certain vehicles that didn't work well with jumping and climbing animations. Okay, yeah, so there you go. So that's there. Already covered. So those are all the quality of life changes. We're always adding more. I want to touch on the backpacks thing again real quick. A lot of people have been asking for being able to put backpacks in vehicles and put backpacks in your backpacks and carry backpacks. We are working on that system. The inventory system for the backpacks and your pockets and vehicles, they're all different types of coding systems. We are still figuring out how to monopolize that and allow you to take that stuff. However, it's more than likely not going to be take a bunch of shit, put it in the backpack, take the backpack, put it in your car, or take the backpack, put it in another backpack, take that backpack, put it in a car. So there's a lot of coding and things that we want to make sure that we get right when we do that. So it's being looked at. I'm not promising that it's coming, but it is being looked at. Okay, just a lot of different things that we need to work on. Quality of life change is done. Bug fixes. Again, this is 100% from the community. Okay, all the stuff that we find internally, we don't really log in here unless it's something prior known to us. And if it's something that we find during testing, it doesn't get logged in because you guys wouldn't know about it anyways. So it's something that we internally test and fix before it comes out to you guys. Anyways, fixed building items on player-built roofs to be hidden when underneath roof tiles. So when you would be inside your base or inside of a multi-story too, and you would build things on top of the roofs, it would show through. That's been fixed. If you run into it, please let us know so we can fix that. But I'm 100% sure that... I'm 99.5% sure that it's fixed. Fixed roof tiles only disappearing one at a time due to built items on top of them. So there were a couple people, Loki included, who showed us that if you put things on top of your built tiles, it would only reveal one tile instead of all four like it's supposed to. Going even further than that, we are exploring. We're looking into the feasibility and possibility of walls cutaways as well, so you can see through the walls as well. Not saying it's happening, it's just something that we're exploring. Okay? So that way people can't say, well, Dara said, no, I didn't. Fixed glass jars not going into quick slot. So for some reason, it was automatically going into your hands when it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to go to your quick slot. Taken care of. Fixed map icon selection not working when using the D-pad. So you weren't able to go left and right. You could only go up and down in the two different columns. And then when you would press left, it would go automatically back up to the top. So Kai took care of that. Fixed gas mask going into your hand slot and appearing on your face when it isn't. Fixed flashlight beam being seen on the second story of a structure when viewed from the first floor. So I'm not talking about when you're looking up and you can see somebody's flashlight in the house. What I'm talking about is when you're down on the first floor and another character is on the second floor and they have their flashlight turned on, you'd be able to see their beam of light coming from their chest so you could pinpoint where they are upstairs. So that's been taken care of. Fixed issue with dead players not showing face wear and headgear. So when you know, your buddy would die on the floor, you would just see their person with their clothes on. You wouldn't see actually their headgear or their face wear. Molotovs no longer setting respawn points on fire when landing anywhere inside your base radius. So again, what that means is, here's your base radius. Okay, here's your respawn point. I throw a Molotov this way and it lands just inside my base, my respawn point would set on fire. That doesn't happen anymore. Fixed container at the Mountain Man camp overwriting loot. There is a storage container that looks like a player container, one of the smaller floor footlocker looking ones, the brown ones, that was placed in the map, and people were putting loot in there at the chicken base, where there's a chicken and it's completely enclosed. That base, that was overwriting loot. That's been taken care of. If you run into issues like that, please let us know. Anywhere. Fixed vehicles taking too much damage due to strange collision issues. So there was like where you guys would full on hit each other and it wouldn't do any damage, but if you would just rub up against each other, it would do like 100% damage. That's been taken care of. Fixed collision issue with sleeping bags from allowing clipping through walls. So a lot of people were using the sleeping bags in order to clip in other people's bases. That's been fixed. You can't do that anymore. Fixed vehicle collision damage. So that's just overall vehicle collision damage. So, you know, going on the road and all of a sudden you'd hear grinding, or like, you know, you'd hit a bump and it would take like a quarter of your damage. Fixed beehives not dismantling. There is a potential fix for settings resetting when applying new settings. Okay? So when you load up the game, if you're used to playing on ultra settings, if you're used to playing on, you know, 144 frames per second, what have you, just make sure you go in there and see if it reverted your settings to anything after you have already saved your settings. Okay? Again, you're going to need to start a new save file for this. So when you go in, mess with your settings, save, log out, and you come back tomorrow or the next day and it reverts your settings, please let us know. Fixed player losing vehicle when rejoining after being disconnected while driving. This was a huge issue, and massively reported since our last update that there have been massive disconnects and vehicles just disappearing. So, no longer an issue. Fixed your infinite ammo glitch while dropping backpacks. Fixed using the unstuck while falling exploit. So people were, and this falls into the next one, fixed building over other players' bases. So what people used to do is they would build up high and then build across on other people's bases. And then they would drop in, and as they're falling, they'd type unstuck to negate the fall damage. So now, one, you can't build over people's bases. And two, you fall from a large height and you're trying to type unstuck, you're not... Last one, potential fix for resourceful perk refunding default material value when dismantling. So for the longest time, I've been saying that we weren't going to fix it because we were waiting for the skills and professions update, because we're going to be doing massive tweaks and changes and overhauls to the entire skills and profession system. But then we saw that somebody was abusing the resourceful perk by spamming walls and concrete barriers and everything and boxing people and just basically being uncouth on the servers, for lack of a better term. And, you know, we don't want to discourage people from playing on there when you've got people doing it. So now, when you use the resourceful perk, you're only going to get refunded the materials that it would have accounted for resourceful in the first place. So, sorry. I was trying to leave it alone and let you know, we didn't feel that it was a bug that needed to be fixed because it was actually a benefit for you guys. But some people didn't want to play nice, and now it had to go. I apologize. Ongoing issues. Okay. Map returning to blank status when experiencing a power outage related crash. So people have crashed out of the game and they've been like, hey, my game crashed, you know, fatal error, Okay, cool. 95% of the time, anytime somebody reports a power outage related crash. So the power goes out in your house, power goes out in my house, whatever, I'm in the middle of playing. I log back in and my map keeps the icons, but it completely recasts the fog of war. We're still trying to track that down. Not sure how it's happening. We'll get there. We'll get there. This one's a minor one. Brake lights of the vehicle stay on when exiting the vehicle while holding the brake input key. Not a big deal. It's one of those things that we're getting to it when we can get to it. HumanitZ periodically will not give sound or smoke animation to show pending explosion. So for now, just be very, very careful. Be very, very careful around hazmat exploding Zeeks. Performance drops and stutters while driving near high zombie counts or lots of buildings loading in. Okay? We are still working on some performance things with zombies loading in. That's coming down the pipe. In theory and on paper, it's really sound, but until we can actually implement it, it's that we know that there's going to be stutters and slight loading issues when you get near the more highly populated areas, especially for those of you that like to play on higher zombie counts. All right, coming soon, works in progress. The list got longer. You still got the PvP overhaul coming. Additional scenarios. Dubs and I are working on that. Official modding support is coming closer to 1.0. Official modding support. I want to talk about mods real quick. All right. If you guys are using unofficial mod, all right, and you get bugs or your game's crashing or it's not working, okay, there's not a whole lot that we can do. Okay, because one, it's going to start messing with our coding because you've got manipulated code inside your files. If you are running into an issue where your game is crashing and you are using mods, what you need to do is turn Cloud Sync off, okay, uninstall the game, go into your Steam folder, TSS game, completely delete that out of your directory, okay, do a fresh install, and then your game will be fine. It's worked every single time somebody has had a modding issue. Don't add the mods back in. Once official modding support comes on, it's going to be fantastic. All right, we've got Jax Teller from over at 7 Days to Die. We've got TX Digital that's working on the team from State of Decay 2. We've got Raven from Project Zomboid. All three of them, and just to name a few, there's a lot on the official modders group, but 3 high-profile people that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with have expressed great interest in HumanitZ and can't wait to do a lot of the official mod support. So stay tuned on that. More weapons and clothing. Obviously, we're going to have a lot more weapons and clothing. Map extension with the island. So I currently am working on a huge chunk of the island right now. So that's going to be coming closer to 1.0. New skill system and professions. That's a huge undertaking. That's like one of our next big tasks, along with car modifications a la Mad Max style. Okay, so all of your nasty grungy armor and plates and you know, cow pushers and just like all that kind of crazy nonsense that you can think of. We're way ahead of you on that. All right. So these 2 are our next huge tasks. Farming overhaul and rideable horses. That's still on the docket. More building, crafting, and workstation assets. Further Steam Deck optimization and full compatibility coming this year. With the performance and visual overhaul that we did over this past couple of weeks, Steam Deck support has improved significantly. We are still not ready to say that Steam Deck is fully supported. So use Steam Deck at your own leisure. Just know that it's not official yet. It's not ready. We are not comfortable with saying that yet. In conclusion, kind regards, the HumanitZ team. If you want to stay in the know on a lot of stuff, make sure you join the Discord. You can also follow over on the HumanitZ game over on YouTube. You've got the X page, you've got TikTok, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, and you've got the official Reddit. Okay, so you can find all that. Please make sure that you rate up or write down if you so choose to. Make sure you discuss all of your findings and everything in this thread. Definitely share it. Come on over to the Discord. Come hang out. Come hang out. Jesus Christ. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Until next time, enjoy the experimental branch. Remember, start a new save, and hopefully I will see you all again next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.